is another book journal or book review. I'm not sure what to call this. Also, I had thought to call my YouTube channel Larry's Library, but I see that's already taken by somebody who does comic books. So I'm going to come up with a new name, and I'd be open to suggestions. I've thought of Larry's Legendary Library, and I thought I might use the 5L system to rate the books, which the highest level for 5 would be legendary. Larry's Legendary Library. I don't know if that's too much of a tongue twister, but I'd be interested in your feedback if you want to leave me a comment. Today I'd like to talk about David Weber's book, By Schism Rent Asunder. It's book 2 in the Safehold series. Artwork by Nimue, and the maps are by Elisa Mitchell, and what was the other person's name? Jennifer Hanover. And I do like maps. I try to follow along when I'm reading what's going on in the different geographical regions. And so with 4 maps, and this one, this is pretty good. This was published by Tor in 2008. It picks up where Off Armageddon Reef started. The protagonist, which we were introduced to in the first book of the series, King Caleb of Charis. He survives a major attack by the Church of God Awaiting, which occurs in book 1. He uses naval superiority, surprise, and just kind of ingenious tactics. And then also Merlin, who is a cybernetic person. Merlin Athrawes, I'm not sure quite how to pronounce that name. I checked it out on ChatGPT, and that's what it says. But Merlin has different access to knowledge, and he uses that to gather intelligence on King Caleb's opponents. And so between these areas, he's able to succeed in defending himself against this attack by the Church of God Awaiting. In book 2, he seeks to consolidate his power. He does that through alliances. He does it through political marriages and just all around being savvy and through military might. Some of the alliances come through people who were bitter enemies, which I think is interesting how David Weber is able to do that, to take somebody who was an enemy and make them an ally in a sense. Merlin Athrawes is a male, but in his original personas, his name was Nimue Alban, Nimue, and I believe it's pronounced Nimue, and it was a woman tactical officer. And then she's awoken like 1,000 years later, or several centuries later, with and becomes a cybernetic person and uses his technology. He provides some hints. They have to be careful because if they show any kinds of major advances in technology, then the Gababa, the aliens who have nearly decimated humans, will find them. And so they've taken refuge on this planet, Safehold. And part of that is introducing this religion where they don't advance technology. And Merlin is trying to gradually reintroduce that in such a way that perhaps over time they can become even more advanced and be able to stand against the Gababa. I'm not sure if that'll happen in any of the soon-to-be coming up books or not. Another thing that Merlin does is he provides protection. He saves a key character from an assassination attempt in a church, and he also saves a secondary character from arson at a university. And he's basically King Caleb's bodyguard, and so he functions there, providing protection. Another key character, Queen Charlemagne of Chisholm. She was a reluctant adversary. She actually, in the first book, had been opposed to King Caleb. She was kind of pressured into that. But in this book, King Caleb makes her an ally. And another character, Archbishop Michael Steinar of the Charis Church. He's a key reformer. He's very intelligent and kind, and it's just interesting to follow him. Antagonists, the major antagonist is Grand Inquisitor Jasper Clinton. He's really a bad dude. He's corrupt. He involves himself in torture, murder, manipulation. He's one of the group of four who kind of control everything about the planet and the church and the religion. Archbishop Eric Dennis, he was a bad guy in Off Armageddon Reef. Here in our book, he does seem to have some redeeming qualities, and he does appear to play a pivotal role in the developing schism that is developing, that is from the title. Prince Narman of Emerald. I really enjoyed this character. David Weber has a way of making you hate certain characters, and then through whatever circumstances, you just come to like and respect them. Maybe not love them. Maybe that'll come in a later book. I don't know. Basically, my thoughts on the book, the relationship between Caleb and Charlemagne. It's beautiful how the relationship grows and develops. It contains some surprises along the way, and there's even some very touching moments throughout the book. The development of Prince Narman from a kind of an antagonist to a shaky ally is very interesting and enjoyable. The Reformation allusions continue even more obviously in this book than in the first book of Safehold. The book title, By Schism Rent Asunder, is taken from the lyrics of The Church's One Foundation by Samuel John Stone. There's a couple quotes from Martin Luther. Here I stand, I can do no other. And I saw the quote appear at least twice, maybe more than that, in this book. And so that's an interesting development. There's other Christian references, but in my opinion, they don't come across as preachy or overbearing. Charis, the kingdom of where King Caleb rules, charis is the Greek word for grace. Another thing I really enjoyed, the military action sequences are especially well done, especially the sea battles and the development of the kingdom of Charis into an empire is an enjoyable part of the book. These are interesting books. They're complex. They contain different levels of meaning, so much so that I would probably benefit from rereading, because there's so much that I probably don't even pick up on from the first reading. Due to the length of the series, I don't know that I ever will reread it. However, I do plan to keep reading one book in the Safehold series every other month. And then there's currently 10 books. And if there's no others published, I'll finish in September 2026. I appreciate you watching. If you've read this book, I'd be interested in your thoughts, and also trying to come up with a name for my YouTube channel. Larry's Legendary Library, what do you think?